cut off on this meeting. I could have probably jumped on Brittany's account, but we're supposed to be jumping over to another off of Zoom because I guess there's unlimited with Google Hangouts. Maybe they have all the same features plus unlimited talk, so we don't have to buy it. So we're looking into that. And I think you can go live with it really easily compared to Zoom. It makes it.
I think it integrates into YouTube very easily. I used to use it, and you just press a button, and your videos are uploaded.
Okay, that sounds even better. And Google's always free and awesome. Okay, so the courses, I know that Brittany's going to be doing that. I'm just going to put her name here because I know that she's doing that. Is there anyone else that wants to do the courses, the prosperity portal with her?
Yep.
You?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, bam. Okay, you guys have a team for the prosperity portal. I don't think that's going to be the first step though, because I think that we need to get, but it could be, I don't know, whatever. It can be. Okay, so onboarding. I'll definitely want to be team building, master plan for sure. I need to be on that. And anybody can see themselves on onboarding or team building or digital?
Yeah, I started working on the onboarding process or like mapping that out, so I could be on that.
Okay. And what about you, Stephen? Where do you fit? Onboarding, team building, master planning?
I'm honestly not sure. I can contribute a little bit to these different things, but I don't have a strong calling yet for anyone in particular. So I'd be happy to fill in whatever role is left over if people want to focus on what they're strongest at.
Perfect. Okay, we need to find out. So Brittany's got one. Although this is a giant thing that we could actually just get 2 retreat leaders up and going. We don't have to have that digital right now. We could just actually have 2 retreat leaders that take, and freaking we got them up on our calls right now. So we could actually just set up retreats on Green Earth Vision or anywhere and we can just market it and then tell people if they want to get, we can just make it a requirement in the website that we're building. When they jump to a master plan, we say required XX course, and we can have a page that just says take the courses here. You know,
my one contribution for any of these learning things is they should be mastery based. There's a few different programs out there for that. I don't think it's terribly hard to do. Basically, what it is, it's a repetition where like you'll get the same question more than once over a period of time. And if you get it right multiple times, then like what happens is there's a calculation that pushes it back further and further, and it helps. It works with how our brain works, where we need to see something today, we need to see it tomorrow, then we need to see it in a week, then we need to see it in a month, we need to see it in 4 months, we need to see it in a year, kind of thing like that. And that makes it so that it becomes ingrained in you. That's a really powerful way for learning things that are important, such as creating a new culture.
Cool. So it's the embodiment practice. It kind of forces you to embody stuff, or what?
It's just how our brain works when we want to learn anything. You can use it for everything. If you want to learn math, you want to learn, if you just need to memorize the points of a book, whatever it is, the way we learn is like, it's spacing it out far enough, like your neurons are getting a little weak, but they haven't degraded. So then when you do it again, it becomes stronger, and like it starts shrinking, and it's stronger still. So it builds long-term memory. It's the most efficient way of building long-term memory, which is also going to be important again when we're trying to change habits or common knowledge and stuff. So yeah, and it's good for learning new skills, especially for skills and stuff. But it's also a really good way for updating information. And this is I think could be one of the most. And I actually have a friend who is working on this. I can get in touch with him. But the reason I think it would be so valuable as a tool, say you're a doctor, All right. Now, if you were a doctor 100 years ago, that is now considered common knowledge. Like you would learn what the doctor knew 100 years ago as a professional is now like high school education. So it becomes a way in which you can update information. So as you're going through this mastery program, you're going to go through like once a week or even once a day for just like half an hour. It'll start interjecting new things for you. So it always keeps your skills and stuff very relevant. So if we're talking about something that is going to be fluid and dynamic and it's emergent, we need to have it be able to change and update so that, for example, the 6 of us who went through this onboarding process this year, if we talk to the people who go through the onboarding process for 4 years, they're going to have a very different, likely, process, and we'll have trouble communicating because we'll believe what we learned 4 years ago instead of what they learned at that time. So by it being this continuous thing, we're all always up to date, but it's not like you have to go through a huge book again and do that. It just becomes a way in which it's a little bit of time happening over a long period of time that naturally updates your skills and stuff. And it's also, again, a really good way for changing perspective or opinions on things. And there's just so many things. Like if a good example I used to use is, I know I'm talking a lot, is like the model of the atom. When I was in school, the model changed multiple times in the 2 decades I was in school. And I know that any of you who are older than me learned even other models before then. And now, since I've left school, that model's again changed. So they weren't wrong. It was just, it's becoming more updated. And that's what was happening with this, is we're going to keep learning more information and it'll become more accurate. So it just, that's why I think a lot of times young people feel so much smarter than older people, because they're learning the current information while the older generation has a lot of obsolete information. Plus, over time, our memories kind of fade and we remember fragments of it, and then our brain fills in the blanks however it wants. So we might think we remember something. We might have been Burlington Field, but now we're totally obsolete. So this mastery type of continuous learning is the way in which we can all stay relevant.
Cool. Yeah. Me and Christina have a new language that we've made up. It doesn't use any words.
Well,
No words.
that'll make this really easy, right?
It's pretty effective too.
Yeah, so I can imagine that with 3D glass. Like we're really jumping into the 3D realms. Like these guys here, we have the equipment right here in Tep Oaks, and this is kind of what we're doing here. This Synergy Hub that's being built here is going to have a whole tech center for the new map ARC guys to have a home base for these amazing new website development tech, holonic, 3D virtual reality home base for all this right here. So I'm gonna probably go to Baja for either a few weeks or a few months, and then I'll probably come back here, soon and help this get launched. It seems super awesome and amazing. I'm really near the area that I'm like 2 minutes down from where they're gonna buy some land. So yeah, VR AR is coming in soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I could imagine like someone that, because once you've learned all that communication, you could maybe like be an actual live Oracle in the game, but maybe it's not you, it's a face of someone else, right? Like but they could still track your movements, and you could like basically teach them, and then they have to kind of learn the new culture or whatever. If they kind of can copy you, and then you go, okay, come on in and just teach them. I don't know, I think it'd be cool. So yeah, Stephen, do you I definitely think that we should throw you on the onboarding for what you said, first of all. Secondly, because the digitization, which is the mix in there. So I've got it's kind of like the first thing is onboarding, and so I think we're going to need 2 teams on it because it involves digitization, which is such a giant freaking subject. And Jonah, this is like further out in the future to what we need to offer Synergy Hubs. We don't really like have to have that to have, because Synergy Hubs are going to take they're going to take a while to ramp up anyway. So we can set up a class for the specific Synergy Hub to give them those inner workings, and we can just add that in before they show up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can get all the other stuff done first.
Yeah, I'd love to also participate in the onboarding, you know, and getting to tune in too. And Stephen was sharing was coming through is, you know, it's like continuing education credits, you know, feel to keep keeping update to what's happening in the future. And part of the acronyms that came through, fun to play in is was Messiah, which is mastering expressions, self-sustainability, intuition, and healing.
Woo!
An education course.
I love it. That's what my download. I have downloads in the morning, and this morning was what you're talking about. They called the when you make a bunch of words for one word that stands for, not an analogy, but a
Acronym.
acronym. That was my download this morning.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that, what's that?
It helps so much with memorization, you know, and really like tuning into the culture, you know, encodes in us. I mean, we learned the amount of information throughout the years, like acronyms, are help bring all of that and ground it in. I feel strongly that will help our curriculum unfold.
Mm-hmm.
I totally think so. In fact, the thing that sparked it for me was that they're starting a Native American Church of Green Earth, which is like, so they put NACGES, which doesn't really sound that great. So I was coming up with things like using the Native American. So instead of like NACGES or whatever, you could have ages. You could have New Age, Native Elders Wisdom. Native Elders Wisdom Alliance of Green Earth.
Nice, beautiful. Yes,
for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
if we were to do this, we would have the onboarding and the team building up and going, and then as soon as that, so Robert and Brittany could do the team building currency, and while we're doing, I need to do step 2 also though, but I'm okay with that, to do step 1 and step 2, and then I'm okay with that. So Josh and somebody for master planning. I almost think Robert, but I don't know if anyone can do that with me that wants, and we can kind of together. This one's not going to happen for a while, Jonah. So I think that if we have 2 teams for onboarding and we kind of split up and do different things, and then 1 for team building, reciprocation, currency, all that, it will have a good balance. And then I can actually do the master plan process myself. It's not that hard.
You can count me in on that.
You want to go on that too?
Oh yeah, it'd be good to stay in our partnership and flow back and forth. And you project, I reflect. We'll throw the energies back and forth and ascend together.
Great, and you'll be able to add that to your repertoire of being able to guide people through the master planning process, which is going to be very critical in all this. So,
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks.
Trying to give everyone a different color. Okay, good enough. All right. So obviously we'll get the approval of Brittany and Robert if they want to jump on a team building I think they will. And then Brittany can continue with you, Jonah. You guys can do that in your spare time, or you can just save it for later. No stress on that right now. It's a part of it, but not, yeah, it's a part of it. And you were in that chat that I started, Jonah, or not? On Facebook? On Facebook?
Yeah.
Were you in on that?
Which chat?
For the prosperity portal?
No.
I'll add you into it. Okay, I'll find it. Okay. That's pretty awesome. What else? I'm going to leave I guess, what else do you guys, I mean, that. Okay, let me do this. I can help. I feel confident in the teams that I got going. So let's look at this. Once again, let's look back at this. So what we can do for onboarding is Stephen, Christina, well, that's all of us right here right now. Why don't we use the rest of this call to kind of get ourselves set up on the onboarding and get a good game plan for that.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do onboarding process as one. It's two of them, but it's all going to need to be
a little map out that I had for the onboarding process. And let's see where it is.
Okay.
So I can share that, and then might be a good place to start.
Okay. Context. Okay. So basically, we have context, onboarding process, and digitization. So I'll put all these here. Okay, actually this is going to go lower. Nope, it's there. All right, so we have a digitization, which is part of our, I think that the first thing is probably going to be the context. We've got to have a strong context.
Text or content?
Context.
Okay.
And then a good process, and then we digitize it.
I guess I do need some context.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, context. So context, we have level. Level 1, like the very beginning context. Then we have Y options from there, which are going to be, so level 1 is the universal field. That's already got us a pretty good context. What we can do is we can review it, but it's pretty strong and pretty good. I don't think it really needs to be too much different. But we could set parameters. What's there is good. And we can set parameters for other organizations to help bring allies into the universal field. Okay, so you guys get that? Like, basically, and Jonah, you've been through the process, so maybe you'll know it, but maybe not. Basically, it's in the it's in the initial thing here. In the invite has the context. So it's the intention for the universal field. Oh, okay, here we go. So, creating a world in which each person's full potential is unleashed, a world in which basic needs are met, a world free of karmic and financial debt, thriving with passion and purpose. It's achieved by our co-creation process that supports building tribe and finding our true family, a universal shared access platform for co-creating a new level of connectivity, communication, and exchange, allow us to move forward together and form a new collective field. So that's a vision and a mission statement together, but we call it an intention because it's a lot easier for people to sign up to an intention than a mission. So this is kind of the invite, and it kind of says it's a special invite. This is all part of that context. Hey, we're inviting you. This is who we're looking for. Here's what we're trying to do. Here's the value. So basically we can copy this for getting into the decentralized areas. Okay. So we could just basically copy it and paste that and then change the words. So, all right. So back to our, where's our form? Milestones, here we go. So level 1, universal, and then options. We have basically New Earth operating system. And then we have, from there, they can either jump into there, or if they don't, they can stay in the old paradigm. Basically, what the old paradigm is almost all orange and red paradigm, but the thing with the red paradigm is that's like force and control, brute force through strength. And that only really exists in like the police force and the mafia and, not very many companies today use that. So most people are under the orange paradigm. It's just basically the law and rules of the game of money, period. So either you either agree with those and you want to go with those, or you want to make your own stuff up. And to make a merger of them is possible, but in this case, we're setting it up to them to make the merger. So Neos, old paradigm, let's just say old paradigm, or orange, if you want to say orange. I don't know. What do you think?
Orange. You glad new paradigm?
Huh?
Orange, aren't you glad it's a new paradigm?
Did you know that orange is one of the only words that that has nothing that rhymes with it? You can think about it for the whole call, and you won't find anything that rhymes with orange. Okay. All right. So anyhow, options: Neos, orange paradigm, which is the old paradigm. Existing, or a hybrid. And the hybrids where they're going to get to basically I think there's going to be a lot of people wanting to create new systems, but I really don't know how much they're going to have to create their own